All right, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, depending on where you are watching from. This is Samuel Ajayi, and I'm coming to you again to talk about F2 visas today. Now, one of the questions I've received about F2 visas is this. Oh, we had F2 visas cannot work in the F2 visa holders cannot work in the US. What can we do? Does that mean I will just stay there? I won't do anything? Does that I'll just be there. What can I do? Now, that's a question I've received from many people. And for a lot of people, it seemed like a discouragement to them knowing that F2 holders are not allowed to work in the US. And I must say this ahead of time that if you are a dependent in US, you get the F2 visa. Now, if you're a dependent in UK, Canada, for example, or Australia, dependents are allowed to work. They can work as much as possible. Okay. But in the US, dependents who are F2 visa holders cannot work. And of course, I always advise people that go for the interview that they should answer the questions appropriately according to that set down rule, knowing that they cannot work. But there are things that F2 holders can do. It does not mean that you just have to sit down and while away time and then things just be as boring as possible and all those stuff. It does not mean that that's what happens eventually. You can actually spend your time to do productive things too. Okay, but let me start from the category itself, F2 visa, some of the things that has been written down in document, black and white, that F2 visa holders can do. Of course, aside the fact that you want to go and support your spouse, maybe husband or wife, okay, F2 visa holders are allowed to do vocational trainings ordinarily. F2 holders are allowed to do vocational trainings, baking, carpentry or whatever, some trainings, vocational trainings, F2 holders are allowed to do that. Of course, F2 holders cannot register for classes like F1 holders where you have a minimum of 9 credits unit because for you to remain an F1 holder, students who is holding an F1 visa, you need to continually, at least every semester, register for at least 9 credit unit. That's what stands you out as a student. But F2 holders cannot do that. However, if where they are getting their vocational training from is an institution that requires them to register and make some things, of course, it must not be up to what an F1 holder can do. Now, there are a lot of things in that wrapped together. What I just said, a lot of things are wrapped together there, and there are gray areas too where you want to know, okay, am I towards where am I in the eyes of the law? Am I breaking the law already? Am I still within the ambience of the law? But that's not where I want to concentrate on today. There are things that you as F2 holder can do at least to spend your time. Okay. F2 holders can volunteer in organizations. You cannot earn money, but you can volunteer. Of course, you are not going to the embassy to tell them that, oh, when I get to the US, I'm going to volunteer. No, of course, you answer accordingly. You are just going there to support your spouse, basically. But these are some of the things that are laid down, that are written, that F2 holders can do. They can volunteer. Okay. You can volunteer in your church. You can volunteer in your organization, African Association, or whatever. You can volunteer. You can. So it doesn't mean that you just have to sit at home and not do anything. Okay. And you see, within that means of volunteer too, it's loaded. There are things that you can how do I put it now? There are a lot of things added together. Hey Prince, I see you, how are you doing? There are a lot of things fused together in that word. They can volunteer in places, okay, but it's again, that is not even the aspect I'm really going towards. That's not the aspect I'm really going towards. Now, if you're an F2 holder and you have skills, you can decide to use your skill freely for your friend. For example, you know how to plait air. You have now F1 student, those ones are in school, they don't have the time to do all these things, but you are an F2 holder, and then you can help your friend to plait the air, or you can help your friend to cook, or you can help your friend to do tailoring stuffs, and then you are doing it freely. Your friend may decide eventually to say, okay, let me give you a gift, or let me just do something. You are not collecting money, but your friend is giving you a gift because you have helped your friend freely. So F2 holders, I'm sorry, I'm laughing. F2 holders can do that. Okay. So you have a friend that has children too, and then you say, my friend, though, let me come to your house, let me help this your children, and your friend said, come, that's a good thing. You can help your friends. Okay. It's you are rendering your you are you are you are just doing something good for them. You are rendering your services for them freely. You are just helping them. And your friend can say, oh, my friend, you are going, my friend, take this. Oh, let me also take this, use it to do transport fare. Of course, you can do good as an F2 holder. Okay, so it doesn't mean that you just come and sit down. Now, many students don't even have time to cook. As an F2 holder, you can volunteer your time for them to start cooking for them. You just cook for them and you say, you cook fried rice today. You take it to brother Kunle, I have brought fried rice for you. Brother Kunle is happy that you have brought fried rice for him. Okay, you have done it out of your own volition, just goodwill, and you are going. Brother Kunle say, let me give you transport fare. It's not good that you just came, and then you collect the transport fare. You thank Brother Kunle. Brother Kunle, thank you. Okay, so F2 holders can be useful. Okay, the same thing you are doing for your spouse, you are supporting your spouse, you can support other students around too. You have an association, they say, Association of African Students, and they say, all the students here don't even have time, but we want to make puff puff, we want to make jollof rice, we want to do this, and then you volunteer as an F2 holder who has the time in his or her hands, and you are saying, I can do this for you. I mean, what do I? And they give you the money that, okay, take this money, go to Walmart, go and buy this and that for us, please. And they beg you, please help us. And you tell them, yes, I will help you. And then you collect the money and then you take it to Walmart, buy things for them, prepare everything for them, deliver it to them. As an F2 holder, because you have the free time to you can do good and help people. Okay. And of course, nothing says people cannot appreciate you. People can appreciate you in whichever way they feel they can appreciate you. Okay. So it's just about you both talking about the appreciation. You understand? So you are not doing anything. You are just doing your own thing. And then you are not breaking the law. You are just appreciating people. People are appreciating you. You are blessing people. They are appreciating you. And all these things work together. Okay. So being an F2 holder does not mean you just sit idle and then you can't do anything. In fact, there are organizations that need volunteers. For example, maybe Red Cross, they need those who will volunteer. Maybe some people march and then they go around. They need someone who will volunteer for them, who will just join them in the march. Not, all those different things that you can do and then spend your time. I can see, Prince, you are writing here that cut hair, driving them to places. So you have a friend who does not know how to cut hair, and then you just say, "Oh, Prince, let me cut your hair for you." You just help your friend, and then you barb the hair, and they're looking good. And your friend say, Prince, you know how to do this. Okay, that's nice, that's nice. And your friend appreciates you in whichever way he's seeing whichever way pleases him. So it does not mean you have to be, what do you call it now? You just sit down and you can't do anything. But of course, when you are going to the embassy, the major thing you are coming to do in the US is to support your spouse. That's the major thing. Okay. All the helping people, volunteering is just that's secondary. Okay. You can volunteer in church, you can volunteer in kids department, you can volunteer to serve, to be a prayer team member, whatever. Being an F2 holder does not stop you. You can volunteer in mosque if that's where you go. You can volunteer if you are part of Red Cross, you can donate blood. All these things you can volunteer. Okay, but that's not the major thing you are coming to US to do when you are going for the interview. When you are going for the interview, you want to tell them how much you are interested in your family being together, how much you want to be with your spouse, how much, because distance will have an adverse effect on your family and all those things. So you want to tell them that. But all this does not mean you cannot volunteer to help other people. Okay, that's very, very important. And of course, it does not stop you from going for some of those vocational trainings, to which I mentioned earlier. Some of the vocational trainings, and I mentioned it that there's a gray area, okay, when we start talking about cost units, nine credit unit, blah blah blah. There's a gray area there which I'm not ready to go into today, But the basic is that you're an F2 holder does not mean you cannot volunteer and help people, and it does not mean people cannot appreciate you in whichever way they deem fit. And that's why I say that you want to be skillful. If you have specific skills before you leave Nigeria or Ghana or Kenya or whichever country, it's always a plus for you because you have a lot of people around you who need some help, and you can offer that assistance to them. Just help them because you can do it. You have the time to yourself. You are not the main visa holder. You are not studying, so those times just you can help people around you. That's one of the things you can actually do. And of course, you will always have, if you're from Nigeria, for example, you always have that Nigerian community. From Ghana, you always have that Ghanaian community. And then you can offer your help freely to people. They are free to appreciate you whichever way they want to appreciate you. But you have that skill, you can help them. Okay, that's one of the things you can actually do. That's one of the things you can actually. So it doesn't mean you have to be idle all day long. And of course, I've seen people sometimes you can have time to take online courses yourself if you are inclined in that direction. Take online courses, just educate yourself. This does not mean you have to register some credits you need on campus, so you are not going against any rule and all that. And then, of course, there are even some places you can even still volunteer where you don't get paid, and then it's just for you volunteering your time, okay? Volunteering your time either to learn something or to gain experience within those things and the like. Of course, eventually, F2 can change to F1. There is a provision for that. I started a video on that some months ago. I probably will do a part two on that. F2 can transition to F1 too. But generally, what I'm just saying in this video is that you can be useful as an F1 holder. You can help your friends. You can help your friend to plait hair, help your friends to sew clothes, help your friends to barb, help your friend to do anything. Take your friend somewhere with your car or with his car, wherever. And of course, F2 holder can get their driver's license too and drive. Okay, so it doesn't mean you just sit down and you are laid back, you can't do anything. You can get your driver's license too as an F2 holder. You can do basically everything every other person can do. Okay, it doesn't mean you are less privileged or you are less you understand. You can do every other thing, just that you cannot work officially and earn money. Okay, that's just what it simply means. But you can do every other thing, get your driver license, use your driver's license as your ID card, travel from place to place. I've seen people ask question that when they get F2, when if they are dependents and they are on F2 visa, does that mean they won't be able to travel from place to place? Does that mean they will be able to travel from state to state? No, that doesn't. That's not what it means. Okay, so you can get your driver's license, you can get your ID card for the state, you can move from place to place, you can do things, you can go for programs. Okay, you can even from some secular conferences which does not require being a student. Okay, you can attend those conferences, you can do normal things that people can do. Okay, so you are not restricted except for the part of working officially and earning money. And yeah, that's a strict rule for US. I know Canada, if you are independent, you can work. If you are in Australia, you can work. UK, you can work. In fact, dependents in UK, I know, I think, and in these other countries too, can work 40 hours per week, even when the student, the main holder, cannot do more than 20 hours. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why some people love to choose UK, Canada, or Australia above US. That's one of the major reasons. But of course, opportunity abounds in US too, especially for the person who is a student when the person graduates. I mean, there are a lot of opportunities and like scholarships and some of those things. You have more of that in US. I think I'll probably do a video highlighting the differences between these countries too. But this is basically for this F2 that don't feel, oh, I'm not going to follow my husband or my wife. What will I be doing there? Don't feel like that. You can follow and you can still be useful. Okay. I mean, there's that joy and satisfaction in seeing that you are helping others and they are happy. Okay, there's that joy and satisfaction, even in volunteering, in donating your time, using your time for other people, whether they appreciate you or not. That is another story. That's between you and the people you are helping. Okay, I want to believe this has blessed you. If you have a question, quickly drop it in the comment section. I will answer that in 1 or 2 minutes. All right, Prince, I see you. Thank you for always coming again and again. God bless you real good. God bless you real good. So if you have a question, I'm waiting. I will give you a few seconds. I'll give you like 30 seconds. If you have a question, ask your question in the comment section. And if there's no question, I think this will probably be a good time to end. All right, Femi, Ezekiel, I see you. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. If you are joining in, you want to say 1 or 2 things. Let me just acknowledge you for joining in. Okay, these are the people who are ready to go for it. All right. Yeah. So you are saying, is the validity of an F2 tied to that of F1? Yes, Prince. That's true. The validity of F2 is tied to that of F1. You have the same date um, on the I-20 for F2 visas and for F1 visa. Okay. So once the time elapses for the F1 holder, it automatically does for F2 holder. So both of you are joined together actually. Both of you are joined together. Of course, you can travel out of the country, come back, and so far your visa is still active. But what keeps you in the country basically is your I-20. So the date on the I-20 for the F2 holder and for the F1 holder is the same. Okay, so once it expires for F1 holder, it expires for F2 holder. If the F1 holder extends the date, that's possible. You can extend the date. If the F1 holder extends the date, it will be extended for the F2 holder too. So you all will get new I-20s basically. Okay, so that's how it works. You are tied together at that point in time. Everything concerning you too is together, even for your children too, who are on F2, who are also dependent. Everything is tied together. I hope that answered your question, please. Henry, yeah, thank you for joining in. Thank you for joining in. God bless you, real good. God bless you, real good. All right. So if there is no more question, I think this is a good time, a good place to end this session. Okay, Femi, you're asking. Let me see. If F1 apply for a post study visa, can F2 be extended at this time? Yes, during those OTP, OPT rather. Uh, Yes, once your I-20 is extended and then you get all those other documents, F2 will be extended too. You are joined together. The person is your dependent, so you are joined together at that point in time. You are all joined together. Even when you apply for green card, permanent residence, you won't do it alone. So far, you have dependents. You include your dependents in everything. You are joined together. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. So you always include your dependents, except your dependent want to take another route personally on his own terms. Okay. But so far you are still together, and then you want to go that way, you can always add it and join it and do all the stuff. That is very, very possible. Yeah, yeah. Oh, your wife is coming to my school. When is she resuming? That's beautiful. And what department? And what's the name? Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah, Femi. So when is she coming? This fall? Okay, Femi is still probably typing. Let me wait for a few minutes. Let me continue talking while I wait for Femi's response. I love people coming to the school. Fall. Wow, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. That's nice. I know there's someone we welcomed recently into our group. Sonia, that's the name. I won't believe. I don't know if that's the name. English. Okay, but you can contact me. That's we talk. You can ask her to contact me too, whichever way. That's nice. That's so beautiful. We love to welcome her big time into Tallahassee. We love to welcome her into Tallahassee. All right, guys. So God bless you, real good. There are a lot of F2 folks who are doing fine, who are doing well, okay, and then they enjoy what they do for people and the likes, just helping people around, just volunteering their time to help people, which is a good thing, okay. Just volunteer your time to help people. It's a good thing. Okay, yeah, Femi, you can send me a DM on Twitter. Yeah, Prince, you wanted to say something. Let me hear you. Prince, you have a work for me, okay? Yes, Anu Oluwapo, I promised to do that. I mentioned it in this video now that I will do a part two of changing from F2 to F1. Okay, I will do that. I promise I will do that. I promise I will do that. I will do that between this week and next week. I will do that. Okay. I should be what has been taking my time. I should be free from next week, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday, just have more time. If you notice, I've not been doing videos for uh I've not been doing YouTube videos regularly as I used to. It's been quite busy. It's been quite busy. Okay. Okay, so Prince, you are saying the acceptance rate is 30%. That's just the acceptance rate is just it's just a number. I don't really pay too much attention to that really. Acceptance rate is just saying proportion of those who are admitted compared to those who apply to the school. It just means that there are more people who are applying to the school, and that is expected because this is one of the cheapest uh, application fee you can find in the US, $30. Okay, most other schools $50, $75, $100. So FSU is $30. So you expect more people to apply to places where the acceptance, I mean, application fee is low or is free. Okay, so definitely the acceptance rate will be lower because they will filter a lot of people out. There won't be many people that the application is incomplete. Okay, because it's cheap. They just want to throw the application there, so it's cheap, and then they just want to do that application, and they could not probably finish it or whatever things happen. That will be counted as part of applications, even though they didn't submit or upload all the needed documents. Okay, so it's just a ratio of those who are given admission compared to those who um who oh, acceptance rate. What am I defining as acceptance rate? Okay, so it's just the proportion of those who are given the admission compared to those who applied. Okay, compared to those who applied. I hope I'm not confusing acceptance rate yeah with enrollment rate. Yeah. So yeah, that's acceptance rate. There's a part of enrollment, which also means the proportion of those who accepted the application compared to those who applied. Okay. Usually that's I mean, because people have multiple offers, they can choose another school above FSU or they may choose FSU above other schools. So that's will always be that. But acceptance rate, those who are given that who are that admission compared to those who applied basically. So it's nothing special. It's not as if they had one who pegged it at 30-30. No, no. There is no correlation. In quotes, in when we talk about number, there's a correlation in time in the sense that more people will want to apply to a school where the application fee is lower. Okay, basically that's that. All right, all right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining in today. God bless you. Real good. You can share this video with those who you know who are going for F2, who are afraid, like, I will now sit at home every day. Some people will even be afraid that when they step out of the house, a police officer will call them and say, "Come here, you are F2. What are you doing outside?" No, no, no. It's not like that. Okay. Thank you so much. God bless you. Really good. Share with people. Let them know that yeah, it's nothing. You are a normal person. You are just there. You cannot work officially, yes, but you can still be useful in many other ways. All right. God bless you. Real good. And have a nice day for those of us in this region, and for those of you who are about to sleep, have a nice night's rest. God bless you.